iOS26 was finally announced.
How did everyone feel about it? I'm sure there are various options, but I couldn't help focusing on the screenshot features related to my SMIM project. After trying out the screenshot functionality following the iOS 26 update, my first thought was, wow, this is exactly the direction I was thinking. Well, more precisely, it's what I was thinking back in 2020. In 2020, I had so many images, especially screenshots, saved on my device. But after saving these images, I often found myself never looking at them again. While I didn't have statistics to prove it at the time, I suspected this wasn't just my problem. Other people were probably experiencing the same thing. So I thought, what if we could remind users of the purpose and context they had when saving these images so they could use them at exactly the right moment when they actually needed them. This was the core of my SMIM 2020 project. I broke down the process of saving device images, including screenshots, into stages. I envisioned a system where when users save an image, it would quickly recognize information and extract necessary keywords, then store those keywords along with the image, like adding various indexes to the image. Once images were saved this way, I thought the stored information could be grouped into larger categories like places, media such as books or movies, or events. Then when users were about to engage with places or activities related to those categories, at that exact moment, boom! The image would appear and tell the user, wasn't this the place you wanted to visit, the thing you wanted to see, the item you wanted to buy, as if it had been waiting for the precise moment when the user would need this image. I was fascinated by this idea of saved images being presented at such perfect timing that they'd feel magical. I thought this entire flow and scenario, image gets saved, user takes some action, appropriate image appears, was itself the UX and design that could bring convenience to users. This I defined as the core of my project. But there were several problems hidden in that thinking. The first was the technological limitations of the time. In 2020, AI technology wasn't as advanced as it is now, so my premise of recognizing, extracting, and utilizing information from photos was entirely dependent on whether the technology existed and its level of sophistication. It was like wanting to solve, how can I run faster without getting tired? And someone answering, why don't you just drive a car? Not solving the essence of the problem, but just trying to patch it with something else. Wait, doesn't what I've described so far sound quite similar to iOS 26 screenshot visual intelligence feature? Yes, exactly. Through iOS 26's visual intelligence, almost all text within images can now be recognized, copied, and translated. You can directly search this information, ask AI about it, or even add it to your calendar app. How did this become possible? Thanks to IT advancements over the past 5 years, what was impossible when I first conceived this idea became possible. My 2020 scenario took a step closer to reality through iOS 26 in 2025. However, the SMIM 2025 I brought forward was different, and I believed it had to be different. Because this was purely a technology-dependent answer about how much technology's performance could improve service quality. Actually, until mid this year, specifically until I heard that iOS 26 would enhance screenshot functionality plus visual intelligence, I was only thinking about how to make this concept more user-friendly, how to serve it more as design, presenting users with the images they want at the moment they want them. But the more I delved into this problem, the more I realized that wasn't the real issue. I had to discover what screenshots truly mean to us, what the real reasons are that people save screenshots and find something beyond the screenshots themselves. What I discovered was this. Images are merely a means. Users want to achieve their desired purpose. They are things they want to do through those images. In this context, as I showed in my previous video, I redefined the act of saving images as users adding tasks and goals. Under this definition, screenshots transform through the process of idea, task, record after task completion. This new concept gave birth to SMIM 2025. The core of my SMIM planning was this. When saving an image, let users check what they want to do through this image. Then, according to that purpose, let the image become a task and goal that helps users achieve what they really wanted to do through this image. Back to iOS26, from my experience using it, Apple's proprietary AI functionality was remarkably sophisticated and accurate. When capturing products from foreign shopping sites, it calculates currency units with exchange rates, and information judged to be dates and times can be added to the calendar. But doesn't the very fact that after screenshot capture, this small format induces additional user actions feel too supplementary? Is extracting only the text information from screenshots really all there is? What if it wasn't just about the information inside, but also about why users capture these images, what they want to achieve through these captured images, and even the records of how users used these images are woven into a special, consistent user experience? Couldn't that have created a uniquely Apple, distinctly Apple special design? Now I think Apple should consider what kind of experiences they could bring beyond the technology itself through that technology. Just like what my SMIM 2025 aimed for.